So yeah, basically I'm finna make this like some type of broadcast or podcast, whatever folks call them. You know, I ain't that up to date on like a lot of new technology and internet savage stuff. As you can see, I started this video immediately without even introducing myself, which, by the way, I am Coren DuBose. And this video is not going to be a video. I might actually slap a picture of me on there. And what the video is about? Well, I'm going to go ahead and, okay, this is about gang stalking. A lot of people don't know what gang stalking is. And yes, right now I'm watching the news, so you're going to hear some stuff in the background going on while I'm talking about this. But basically what gang stalking is the military technical term, if you want to call it a military jargon, is an ISR operation. Isolation and removal. And I'm pretty sure you know what isolation and removal means. You're going to create a situation where you isolate somebody and remove them from the public for a number of reasons. And this is done to a lot of people, and it's usually done to people with unique thinking abilities. And this is going to be a hard to understand video. Number one, because you listen to a southern black guy slang at, 12:57 a.m. In Montgomery, Alabama. Number two, I'm ex-military. I like to curse a lot. And there's literally a beer in my hand. It's the weekend. I don't care. All right. And I'm going to keep it here the whole time. This video is about gang stalking. Let's get that back. I'm going to try to minimize the cursing and going off the point. But the reason I have the news on so I can kind of help back up somewhat of what I'm saying is this planet is terrible right now. But back to gang stalking. So what these people do, you have to pay attention. At some point in your life, somebody's going to discover something special about you, usually a talent, and that first person that discovers this, if it's not your parents or one of your siblings, it's going to be you, all right? And there's going to be something that you're going to do for the rest of your life that will define you as a person, whether that is you have a hilarious sense of humor, whether if you are just a good artist, talented athlete, something about you. But there are people on this planet, like me, who do stuff that other people simply just cannot, for whatever reason, do. I don't understand it completely myself, so don't look at me as some expert. I don't know why I can astral project so easily, and other people, the only time they ever astral project is when they die, and some horrible car crash or of natural causes or anything else that takes you out. All right? That's number one, all right? Not only that, there's a such thing as dreaming, and there's a such thing as lucid dreaming. Dreaming is when you wake up and you realize that you just witnessed this scene of imagery of something that's, much like waking life, and it was a type of mental experience that you can register as a memory if you remember the dream. Well, lucid dreaming is just like dreaming, except you take charge of the dream. Once you get into the dream world, you take charge of the dream world. But let me tell you the problem with lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming is not actually a real solid concrete thing that you're doing that like a superpower. There's nothing super about this shit. What lucid dreaming is your astral body projecting itself outside of your physical body while your physical body is sitting up there feeding you a fucking dream that tells you a phony story. See, I told you I like to curse. All right? I like to curse. I'm not a preacher or a pastor, so all right, But your physical body is just telling your brain to dream. I mean, it could have you dreaming about Final Fantasy or fucking, some HBO boxing match. But your astral body has become lucid and it's still picking up on what your physical body is dreaming about. And so if you find yourself feeling like you just walk down the hall to get a bowl of chips out of the refrigerator at 3:30 in the morning, and you astrally reach through the door and receive no chips, you just astral projected. That wasn't a dream. That you actually walked down the hall. Your ghost body can't eat chips. Run. That's one of my little jokes right there. Well, run means literally run it by me again. So when I say run, either A, some dumbass shit that just took place, or B, I want you to get the point. All right, so back to what I was talking about. That's why they're after you. If you're doing shit like astral projecting and lucid dreaming, chances are you're a clairvoyant. And let me tell you something. It is impossible for a human being to be psychic, and let me tell you why that is. Psychic literally means I can take my thoughts and project them directly into your head and communicate with you. All right, the human brain is not that powerful. All right, the fabric of reality is that powerful. So if you tamper with the fabric of reality, i.e. astral project, then maybe you can be a psychic. Well, here's where the problem is. The human brain is not meant for you to transmit thought signals. I mean, you could literally fry your own fucking brain out. Especially if somebody's augmenting you, i.e. gang stalking, and using sonic encephalogram heterodyne. I hope you know what that is. I'm not sure if it's heterodyne or neurodyne, and I really don't care. I'm not familiar with that technology they were developing down at Raytheon and DARPA and shit. And I know what you guys were doing at Fort Polk when I went down there with you guys in 2000. I think that was 2005. Dude, I should have been up there at Fort Campbell boxing up my shit. I know exactly what Raytheon was doing down there at Fort Polk. So don't you fucking run no lie by me. All right, got these guys out here in the U.S. Marshals circling around like I didn't buy shotguns to shoot with. You bust up in this house throwing flashbang grenades. I got something called a Sago round that if I aim it at that bulletproof vest, I'm going to tell you something about a flak vest. All right, a 9mm can break your fucking sternum if I were to aim it at that fucking flak vest, which is going to deflect that 9 round. A Sago round is like adding 3 fucking 9 rounds, shaping them like a fucking giant screwdriver, a drill bit, and putting them inside of a 20 gauge or 12 gauge shotgun and firing that shit directly at your fucking torso. I'm going to pulverize you so fucking bad, the fucking EMTs are going to drag off a fucking SWAT car full of hamburger meat. Yes, you're going to take me out, I'm going to take your ass out too. So I'm going to make sure this ain't no regular gang stalk you're talking to. I'm formerly Specialist / Corporal DuBose of the United States Army. I was worked out of the 311 Military Intelligence Battalion. That is, you got to excuse me, I'm going to fuck, I'm cursing. I'm not your average gang stalking victim. I will shoot the shit out one of these federal agents. I will shoot the U.S. Marshals. I don't give a fuck who you are. Snooping around the house, breaking and entering on these premises. I will set booby traps for you. I will sabotage your fucking road vehicles. I will make my own spike scripts if I think you're following me and toss that bitch out the back of my fucking car and line your ass up on side of the road dead in a fucking 5-vehicle traffic pile up with 18-wheelers and shit scrolling across the goddamn Mobile Highway. I want you to understand something. I will start a fucking civil war one-handed down here, and you consider the Bell Narrock page its own fucking militia as of this morning. I am a militia member, and my militia is Bell fucking Narrock, and that's me by my goddamn self, and I will shoot this shit out members of the federal government for this criminal-ass activity. Now, you might have thought you were going to get a come get me a targeted individual bracelet-ass fucking speech this morning, but I will shoot these motherfucking people dead in public. I'll catch you in Starbucks, you federal FBI bitch, while you're sitting up there with your little fucking special cell phones and notepads and tablets and shit, microwaving people and making folks hear voices. I'll walk right in that Starbucks and I will proceed. Much like Sergeant Johnson did down there on those Dallas cops. I will proceed, but I'm not with Sergeant Johnson on shooting those Dallas cops. The only thing I care about is the fact he shot those motherfuckers in response to you white motherfuckers shooting our goddamn black males down in the street like it's a fucking hunting season. What is it? Well, it's like it's an episode of Elmer Fudd and Daffy fucking Duck or something. No, it's not duck season right now. It ain't rabbit season right now. This shit ain't funny. Yeah. And the United States federal government is fucking criminal. You people are working for fucking gray aliens. That's where the technology come from. We call them aliens. Those aliens are not from another star system. If they were, then maybe originally, millions of years ago. But those things created us. Some of them are corrupt as fucking hell. And unfortunately for the human race, the ones that are completely corrupt are in charge of the planet. They won this creation. Not even one. The civilization that preceded them, that created us, you might consider them the older generation of the Anunnaki, the actually creator guys that actually created humanity, I took man and formed them out of the dust-ass mythology. Yeah, that actually occurred just so long ago that the only thing anyone remembered about it was, hey, one time there were gods here and the world was really advanced. And all of a sudden it came to an end because some of the guys were doing shit that was evil, as recorded in the book of Genesis, which actually comes from Enuma Elish. It's the Babylonian Akkadian creation epic. These people that look like humans, and it's just like Stargate. I like the curse, man. All right. You're not going to like me as a person. I'm not going to do too many of these videos either. But this is just like Stargate SG-1. These ancient human beings were so advanced, and they had these unusual appearances. They were what we are is not what we used to be. What our ancestors were is pretty much akin to what the gray aliens are. If you look at it like this, you might consider the gray aliens to be the last evolution of an old form of the human race. That is the final, that is as far as the gray alien can go. All right, it cannot advance its biology any further. So now they're using human bodies. And unfortunately for us, the same pieces of shit that caused the Great Flood are using human bodies now too. So you get where this is going. You can pretty much classify the human race as a hybrid organism. Our bodies are literally serving the purpose of beings called the gray aliens. I mean, there's no better word for them. I mean, they're not all gray. For all intents and purposes, they can range from, a kind of white-looking color. That's what when we say tall whites, that's the most, believe it or not, the most common gray type of alien isn't actually the little short gray ones. It's actually the tall white ones. People usually see any variation of the tall whites, and it's not because they look like Europeans. No, they're literally white, chalk white. That's white like a sheet of printer paper, white. Their eyes are wraparound, and they can be black looking or solid blue looking, somewhere in between. And they're basically like a mix between a gray alien and a human, which they fucking are. I mean, let's be honest. That's what they are. All right? And these beings predated humanity. We wouldn't exist if it were not for those beings. We literally would not be here if it were not for those beings. And any knowledge of that, if it were ever obtained, you could use it to revolutionize any society on this planet, namely America. Let's get, that shit happened. Area 51 dose, Roswell, 1947. Get it out of here, the underground bases. What a DOM stands for. And you got to love a black audience. Because I was not against having a black audience, and I'm not seeking a totally black audience. That's stupid. You know what I'm saying? It'd be stupid to look for an entirely black audience and then cut everybody else out. No, dude, everybody needs to know that shit like this is done. Because if they come to your house and drag one of your children off and wire their fucking brains up so they can track them for the rest of their life because the great aliens fucked up in the ancient world and decided that, well, experiment. So sometimes we're occasionally born a little bit more great alien than the others. So this federal agency thinks it can grab a little of your DNA, study your fucking thought process, do pretty much whatever they want you to do. Make you feel like an all-American hero while they're zapping into your fucking brain to see why you are an artist and this piece of dickless shit that should not be on a college campus, like shouldn't be there. Why isn't he an artist? Because he works for the federal government, the motherfucker's a gang stalker, and he's sitting right next to you basking in your thought process, learning to be a fucking artist. And they don't tell you how these federal programs are set up. It's exactly what they'll do. Take your ass to these places, and you will never know because these people will literally already be there waiting on you. These people shift around in society, and they create situations for you to live in. So when you go off to college or the military, you think that shit is just you getting out there and taking off from mom's nest? No. Those people are going to fucking railroad your life. And by railroading, I mean they're going to arrange your life from start to fucking finish. They can arrange you into poverty, into richness, in between. They can arrange your tenure as president, and they can unarrange it real JFK style. These people are very advanced. What you're looking at is not an alien invasion. What you're looking at is the resurrection of a failed alien colony, which is what this earth is. It is a failed alien colony. This civilization is literally digging up what we lost that caused the Great Flood in the first place. Hint, hint, hint. Run that by me again. Now you see the whole damn dog. That's why they gang stalk. These people want DNA samples, blood, hair samples, a little of your damn sperm. Whatever they say the gray aliens are doing freaking probing people up their anus while they sleep at night. And you would be horrified to know what's actually taking place in a lot of these alien abductions. Because the part of you that is being abducted by these entities and these people that work with them, and let's make it clear. There are federal governments on this planet that are aware of the alien presence, and some of them work with these beings. And all of these beings are not into like elite status in society. Some of these beings may be into shady levels of society. Like, they could be literally involved in human trafficking. Why? Because they don't have the same stuff they had when they were flying V-minors and stuff when the gods first created humanity. Imagine these great aliens fucking up so bad they create this awesome race called humanity that outshines them. The Bible literally says that. Whoever God was, he literally is bashing himself over the head halfway through the book of Genesis. Not even halfway through. And literally at the beginning, it immediately goes bad. It immediately goes bad. It's like, okay, let there be lights. Let there be animals, plants, men and women. And let there be fucking fallen angels having sex with women and creating flying vessels that can reach the moon and other star systems. Where they go start wars with creatures we don't want to be at war with because they might hurl asteroids back at the planet from the Anunnaki homeworld. So if the Nomo decide to pay us a little attention coming from the freaking Sirius star system, maybe it's feeling like they're checking up on the children, down there in the dead end of the solar system, down there by the sun. The Earth is a really trashy place from what the gray aliens here on the home world. So when they send these gigantic mile-wide ships out there for NASA to cut the live ISS feed off, so you don't see that they're a wedge-shaped UFO literally just pops the fuck into the frame, and they flip the camera right the hell off. Like, no one saw that. I mean, you just made it even more obvious. It'd have been better to just just launch the breaking news like a bar down at the bottom, on Fox or something, just right then and there while it was still running. Oh, holy shit, we just proved we're not alone in the universe. No, they just flip the camera off, create a mass public shooting with some guy with a purple wig on and a bunch of lipstick, shoots a bunch of children at summer camp, and put that shit all over TV and then promote anti-gun laws, which is why I began the video about cursing and saying, yeah, I will shoot you for following me around. You want to gang stalk me? Well, I know the secret, motherfucker. All of us have this potential. Everybody on this planet has this potential. What these people are doing, they're giving themselves an advantage, a home field advantage. If your soccer team is losing, chances are it's losing because you're not coordinated. Soccer is a very difficult game. You have to coordinate with everybody, every single member of that team, especially the guy that's preventing the other team from scoring. And guess who that is? That's you. You're your own goalie in this life. All right? Sometimes you ain't going to be able to rely on your family, man. Friends and circles and stuff. You ain't going to always be able to call the police, especially in situations like this when these people operate outside of law enforcement scrutiny. All right? What the DOD and the Pentagon know is totally different than what these people are doing and knowing in these other places. I can trust you. There's such thing as a deep underground military base, and these people are not literally splicing aliens and humans. What they're doing is they're pushing this shit that Nazi Germany came up with, the SS cult, Anna Nerva, and all these other creepy societies. They're trying to figure out what parts of human biology and DNA can recreate these ancient heroes. They want to recreate the fallen angels, the giants. The result of an airstrike by the Iraqi. But they're wrong. It's stupid. You don't realize the human body is the best that the gray aliens came up with for the surface world. That's the best they came up with for the surface world. And
Iraqi government, Kurdish, and U.S.-led coalition forces began their campaign to retake Islamic State's last major stronghold.
All right, but anyway, I had to pause for a second. Somebody interrupted me. But I just lost my whole train of thought. But at any rate, you gotta watch for shit like that, especially when you're dealing with federal government gang stalking. If people are following you fucking around, you don't want to just sit there and start wearing freaking help me bracelets. Well, I'm a targeted individual. We're gonna have a meeting, bake some cookies, and read a few fucking, Mother Goose stories. Well, I'm gonna skip that meeting and then keep the damn bracelet. I'm gonna stop by the pawn shop and see if I can buy me another fucking 9mm. Maybe I can find a Derringer. If I get my hands on a Derringer, I'm gonna boldly go out into public, you know what I'm saying, to places that no man has ever gone before. And I'm going to get my business done. And I'm going to take my fucking shopping trips to Lowe's and get my shit straight around the house. And I'm going to live a normal life. And if that means I have to walk around armed in public, literally dodging humans who want to abuse other human beings so they can fucking give themselves a mental advantage. It's not even a biological edge or anything. These people are not finna create superhumans, right? What these people are finna create is fucking retarded lumps of shit and test tubes. And that's what they've been creating. You can't even introduce these damn things they're making at these Arizona laboratories into public. I mean, look at this shit they're doing with Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. You got to look at the United States president and know there's something up. This man literally spent the last, almost 4 years trashing my life. And I don't know, I know you're the president of the United States, but you literally just pop up in 2008 out of nowhere. And as soon as people pounce on that fact that Barack Obama literally has no past in politics, they destroy their Tea Party, which is basically kind of conservative. They ain't even right wing; they're just conservative. They're like this conservative movement. They were concerned that Barack Obama was not really a U.S. citizen, and he was not really a heterosexual, which apparently is not. But for some reason, this guy tacks on me in a religious fashion and starts using me as his personal representative, which is kind of fucking amazing because I've literally been writing on Facebook for the last 3.5 years speaking against this shit. This man literally put out a ISR operation on me, complete with a fucking gang stalking CIA research team. I mean, these people were literally following me a fucking round. All right? These people were following me around. All right? They came onto a college campus after me. All right? I had to start taking my gun everywhere I go in Atlanta because I was being followed by random white people who just ride right up on your bumper. And they ride right up on your bumper in big-ass, dark police-looking trucks. And you think it's the cops. Oh, am I speeding? No, I'm going slow as hell down this really hilly road to the art school, man. Dude, it's like really passive, boring, bland Christian area. It's like there's nothing special about it. It's just like one of the most peaceful stretches of road in America. And these bastards, these jackass white people from these Arizona CIA military fucking laboratories are literally operating on a college campus, and they have the technology to literally dumbfound and woo the entire campus. Dumbfounded, woo them. Walk right into the school and create a situation, and when they get no results, they provoke the students around you in order to provoke you so they can remove you from the campus. So what a typical day of these CIA people operating like on campus would be like this. Firstly, they create a trigger situation, all right, where they get the students to always pay you attention. So they might introduce a bit of information about you. They might say something sexually about you, or bring up a bit of your past that only you would know that they shouldn't even know. But how do they know this shit? Because they've been tracking you for quite some time, and they already know what to say and do when you get into these situations. So their trigger situation is a religious situation. So they want to pit me against black people's view of Christianity. And that's the initial trigger. Then they try to prank me sexually. And they even try to tie me to radical Islam based on artwork I made with Photoshop that was actually meant to look like the Predator movie. I guess because I'm black, if I tie a shirt around my head and put on camo fatigues like I'm in a fucking rainforest somewhere, that means now support ISIS. I've never read a whole page of the Coren. And that's coming from a guy whose name is literally Coren. I've never read a page of the Quran. Maybe the name Coren is being interpreted by the FBI or the NSA as a hint at Quran or something like that. I don't know. I mean, Korean, these people are fucking nuts. But anyway, these people don't think this stuff go on because they've never been involved in any classified military programs like me. I'm going to tell you something. Some of the shit we did to those people in Iraq 2003 when we invaded Saddam Hussein's country was criminal. And I hate to say that, but we did shit that was criminal to those people. Stuff that we should have never been doing over there. These people can make you hear voices. These people can project images into the sky to make you think the Prophet Muhammad is riding back with 100 warriors behind him. And he's not there for real. It's being broadcast on an extremely difficult to... the frequency cannot be picked up audibly as I'm speaking right now. But what it does, it hits right on your the filaments that of your eardrums. What makes your eardrum work? That's what it does. Is vibrating your actual eardrum to make you hear voices. And it's even worse. They can literally project their thoughts into your heads using cell phone towers. And it's hard. I don't want to go into how that works, but it's something called, there's energy. There's always electronic energy in everything in the environment. And what this federal agency has done with the help of these gray aliens is figured out how to activate that energy. They can literally turn on dark matter. That's what they're doing. These people are manipulating what is called 0-point energy, dark energy. That's what it is. They're manipulating dark energy. And this began back in 1988. And that's why in that year there was a series of earthquakes, geomagnetic shocks, freak weather storms. It created El Nino. It generated all types of weather fucking hell. I mean, the early 90s and around 1988 led. You remember how horrific the storm systems in America was coming out of the direction of Arizona and Texas during the that's what Tornado Alley is. Those people have been generating Tornado Alley. Tornado Alley has been there since the Native American days, but those people they're generating Tornado Alley. Now, you know what? Because that it's like a ley line. You get where this is going? Some of this shit, some of this Dragon Age fantasy stuff is real. They're just gonna tell you it's because aliens are real. Aliens make shit magic. They're not fucking dragons and wizards. These damn aliens look like tall, skinny, hairless humans with slanted, big black eyes. That's what they look like. They look vaguely lizardy, reptilian-y. Like, what if the velociraptor or some of those little scrawny bird-like dinosaurs turned into an advanced alien civilization? I mean, whoever these aliens are, they would kick Star Trek Enterprise's ass from here to the other end of the cosmos. And these aliens don't want this civilization on the Earth to get back to where it was when they had to come and cause the Great Flood. And this is where I'm going to end that video. I'm not going to keep warning you. You know why? Because I'm lingering. I shouldn't be here anymore as far as I'm concerned. Prophets, if God sent a prophet in this late generation, this shit coming to an end. God ain't going to even bother with a flood. He might hit it with an asteroid this time. Good morning, America, and goodbye if you're not going to play goalie for yourself. These people are not on your side. That's what gang stalking is. All these people are predators, are parasites, man. They're stealing everything off you. They're becoming more parasitic because they're figured out how to activate this huge energy grid on the planet. That's why some of those things aren't even cell phone towers. These things are literally telling your brain what to do. They are attuning your brain. That's what it's called. That's what it's called. It's called transmental resonance. That's literally I'm glad I slipped up. I said that's literally. But that's literally amping up everybody's thought process onto the same thought-filled generation frequency. So every time I think about eating a bowl of spaghetti, these creepy-ass federal agency has decided that it's okay that everybody in America can know what this guy in Montgomery thinks about, what the guy working next to you on CNN is thinking about. I mean, look at what's going on CNN, Fox, and MSNBC. You can tell. This is proof, positive proof. The reason why they're fidgeting a lot and they're finding it so difficult to make their announcements and reports these days is because of this. They can hear each other thinking on the inside because of this shit Barack Obama pulled out. Once again, good morning, America. I'm not going to keep addressing you people. And no, I'm not running a church and going to come help you read the Bible. The Bible is not going to help you anymore. You be forewarned.